All right, here we go again. Annuity producers. We're going to rock and roll today and talk about some of the best programs out there to get business. Now, in our opinion, it's seminars, in person, live workshops without buying people dinner, but having them come to a spot like a library, community college to learn more about a particular topic, such as Social Security, Roth conversion, taxes, Medicare, whatever it may be. And I've been hitting on this for so long, so many years, because I've already done all the other marketing programs out there. Now, do we only do workshops? No, we diversify. We buy online leads also. But workshops should be an integral part of your business if you want to be successful in the annuity space. If you look at all the top producers out there, most of them are doing some sort of a seminar. It could be dinner, educational, or at community centers, but they're doing an event in person live where other people can see them. And there's so much truth to be told to that because I've lived through it day by day, been doing this for 15 years, been doing seminars for nearly 7 years now, half of my career. And it's a game changer. If I could go all back in time, I would do seminars and they're fun. They're way more fun than calling a cold lead, at least in my opinion. So today I have my partner on here, Ryan Bartels, who is the pinnacle of success story of a relatively new agent getting into the seminar space. When we first met, he didn't have an insurance license, and then he got his insurance license. He did life insurance for a while. He helped process all of my business and all of my wonkiness, but it taught him how to really get the basics and the foundations down. And then as of last year, he had his full year into the annuity space. I'm going to let him share some of his success stories there. Before we hop into it, we're going to talk about where Ryan started from, where we all started from. Most of us came from final expense, mortgage protection, or maybe you're still in it, or you're just doing Medicare and you want to transition and get out of that side of the business and get more into becoming an actual annuity producer. So without further ado, I have my good friend here, Ryan Bartels. Maybe you can share a little bit about...
What's up, Roy? Long time no see.
I know, exactly. You're so far away. You're on the other side of the room here. Yeah, that's the other thing on this podcast. We thought about doing it both here in this room. We're like, it's not really set up for that. So now we're just literally talking between a wall with each other, but that works.
It works out great. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I started, some people know my story, but I started in construction. I had no idea or any inkling or desire to be in insurance until I met Roy, and he was like, hey, dude, you should get your insurance license. I said, I've been in construction for 20 years. Yeah, let me just go and do that. But seeing his success and everything like that kind of really turned my little light switch on and said, man, if this guy could be successful at it,
Thanks.
I can do it too. And with his guidance and mentorship is honestly the reason I'm here today. I mean, I've been able to actually get kind of a jump start to my career, which is really awesome in the sense that most people don't have a Roy Snarr to learn from, right? And I think that's most important, if I can say anything. I know we're going to talk about seminars and everything like that, but most important thing in my eyes is finding somebody who's already in the business, already has made all of the mistakes. That's the key right there. But yeah, it started in insurance, and like Roy said, it processed a lot of his business, all of his business for a full year, and really got the taste of insurance companies. That's a whole different animal to deal with right there too. But you get to learn a lot about NIGOs and everything like that, how to overcome. Most importantly, though, you get to see how the applications are done and how to do the rollovers and transfers and everything like that, and not screw up somebody's life savings. That's very important as well. So
Yeah. Well, thank you for that, Ryan. It's always fun working with you and then all the other agents that now you're helping out with as well to help grow and scale and get them more into the actual annuity space. And maybe you could share a little bit how in the very beginning, I was like, you got to do some final expense leads. Just try them out, get your teeth cut. Oh man, you had quite the adventure there. Maybe you can share one of the stories about your final expense leads and why you don't market for final expense any longer.
yes, I could tell you many stories about that, but mainly when I first started, it was actually recommended by Roy. Hey, you need to get your feet wet and start to sell something, right? And the most easiest realm and avenue to get into this business is by getting your feet wet with the final expense. People in A lot of people have final expense, but uh, people who are in smoking Pall Malls, drinking beer all day, and you're going and selling a policy, and that's fine. A lot of people are very successful on it. I just about broke even because I had so many chargebacks, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like, I have downtime in my crane that I was running a crane in construction. I'm like, "Cool, I'll just sit here and bang out some calls on the weekends, making calls, buying leads." And man, I was like, I think the first batch of leads, I sold like a $1,500 policy. And I was like, yes, that is awesome. This can work, right? 3 months later, I had to pay $1,500 back because that person charged back. I was so upset. I called Roy. I was like, dude, this is not for me, man. Like, I don't see the point in this. And he goes, now you're ready.
Yeah.
Now you're ready to go to the next
Got to
step.
hit rock bottom first.
Exactly. Now you've gotten a taste of the dislike of final expense. Then we started to get into term, and I ended up getting my designation for long-term care. Started selling some long-term care, and then I'm looking over at Roy, and I got a long-term care application, been in underwriting for 3 months, and Roy just put in an application last week, cashed with that, and he already got paid on an annuity. I was like, that's where I want to go. And he said, cool, here's how you do it. And this is what you need to do to become successful. And the answer to that was seminars. And I have never spoken in front of a lot of people. I joke about it that the most people I ever spoken in front of was at an AA meeting. I never had a public speaking type life about me. I didn't even want to. And the first seminar that I actually did, I famously set the record for clearing my throat in front of everybody. And that's because I didn't bring any water up with me. So I sat there and cleared my throat after every 3 words I said, and it was embarrassing. It sucked. I was like, I don't know if this is for me, but I had one of our teammates actually record the whole entire seminar. And I think I watched that back probably 40 to 50 times by now. Because what I said was, in order for me to become successful at this, this is the way to do it. Obviously, it works for everybody who does in-person workshops. So how do I better myself? Well, it's to watch a really embarrassing workshop 40 to 50 times. And you're going to say, never going to do that again.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that again. Here's what I could change this about. You get so much and you can learn from yourself. And a lot of people are scared to do that. A lot of people are scared to watch their failures. And I thrived from it. I tell all of the agents that I work with, there is a secret sauce to this. There is. It's 100% a secret sauce. And the secret sauce is, are you ready? Just don't give up. Just be consistent with it. And you're going to get better. You're going to close more business. And that's how we do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was terrible at my first few workshops. Ryan was better than I was. And then he got way faster success than I did. It took me like 5 workshops to finally get like a deal going through. It only took him a couple, then he really got the groove of it. But one of his keys to success was consistency. He just kept doing it. And when I first did it, when I was spending all this money on these workshops, all these programs, I didn't think anything was going to happen. It's like, this is crazy. But I knew that other people were successful at it. I was like, I have to make myself successful at it as well. And I watched myself. I had my mom record me on a workshop. And it's like the most painful thing is to watch yourself looking like a complete idiot on camera. And I just watched it over and over again. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. The whole thing was just totally screwed up. But that's how you learn. And now if you look at it, doing a workshop, it's just like this, having a conversation. There's no stress, there's no pressure. It's like, that there's a handful of people in there that are either going to want to work with you or they're not going to work with you whatsoever. Very simple, cut and dry, no big deal, right? And it took a while though to get to that point. I mean, we tell agents all the time, whether you're working with us directly through our team or you're going through a different upline, just start doing workshops. Just be consistent with them and don't do 2 or 3 and say they don't work, right? Like the old Glenn Ross quote, the leads aren't weak, you're weak. They do work. There's a reason why people continuously do them, but you have to get good at them. And the only way to get good is by doing it. I had an agent the other day, he's like, oh, I'm going to read everything about workshops. I've read your speaker notes. I've done all this stuff. and I'm not quite ready yet. I'm like, dude, it's like reading a manual on how to ride a bicycle. You could read that manual 100 times, but until you sit on that bicycle and actually pedal, you're never going to learn. You just have to jump out there and actually do it and start running these workshops. And you're going to screw up your first few. You're probably not going to make much money at all the first few, and you're going to feel stupid and embarrassed, but that's a part of learning. Imagine your first phone call to somebody who wanted to buy insurance. That was a cold lead and they gave you a hard time. Now, seminars, it's 100x that because you're in front of a bunch of people. But if you want to really scale and grow, that's a key way to do it. And so, Ryan, how many seminars did you do last year total?
37.
37 workshops. That's amazing.
37.
Yeah, rocking it. And then what was your total premium that was submitted and issued and paid altogether in 2025?
Across all line annuities or just across all lines?
Let's just do all lines.
All lines was 8.7 million.
Yeah, think about that. $8.7 million in premium from doing 37 workshops. I don't have my calculator because I'm using my phone as the camera, but you could do the math there on what it actually is, what he's writing per workshop. And we got to remember the first set of workshops, it was rough in the beginning, but that's how it is for everyone. And then the other thing too that you have to keep in mind about these workshops is that you may do one today and then 2 years later someone says, you know what, I came to your workshop, I want to meet with you. It happens to us all the time. So those premium numbers that he's referencing, they're not even including all the people that he's going to write business from over the next 1 to 2 to 3 to 5, 6 years. I've had people come to me that went to a workshop when I first started doing them. Okay, this is probably like a half a year into doing the workshops. And they said, you know what? Now I'm ready to actually do something. I'm like, wow. I mean, when did we meet? 5, 6, 7 years ago? They're like, well, actually, we never met in person. I just came to your workshop, but now I'm ready because I've been to some others and we liked yours the best. I'm like, that's awesome. So there's a huge long-term effect of these workshops, not including the incredible branding that you get by presenting yourself up there and to the general public and them talking and sharing with their friends and family about you. Because most of the agents, they're not doing workshops. Most advisors are not doing workshops. But if you look at the most successful advisors out there, most all of them are doing workshops. Unless you have a massive referral network and a massive book where you just live off of client referrals, you got to get in front of people somehow. And how do you prove yourself? Well, workshops are an easy way to do it. And the workshops that we do, they're all educational. There's no dinner workshops. Nothing wrong with dinner. I've done them. I'm just not a fan of them because I'm buying somebody dinner. They already know I'm going to want something in return. I don't feel I need to do that. I feel like I'm trying too hard if I buy them dinner. Now, they do work, don't get me wrong, but I prefer the method of pure education, less stress, less pressure. They're coming to see me out of their own time, their own accord. Then they mark on a piece of paper that they want to see me again, so they come all the way down to my office and then revisit with me. So by that point in time, they've already invested a couple hours of their lives with me. I have a much higher opportunity to try to help them with something than I do if I just say, hey, buy the dinner in the classic plate liquor situation. It's just not very fun. So how many workshops do you have planned out for this year? What's your goal for 2026?
So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to scale it back just a little bit, but I'm actually putting more money into the marketing per workshop. So I'm only going to do 2 in-person a month, and then I'm going to do 2 webinars per month.
Yeah.
And we're really going to start to get on the webinar train as well, because I mean, heck, I don't know about anyone else, but if you can record a really good one and then just have that run in the background and get appointments from that too, that sounds great to me. That's it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that too, because on the webinars, a lot of agents ask both you and myself, I just want to do webinars. No, don't get me wrong. Like, you don't even know if I have pants on right now. Right? I'm not going to even tell anybody.
Touche.
Touche. You can do that on a webinar too. You just be totally relaxed, whatever. There's very little pressure. If you screw up, you just keep going. It's like, I can't even see them. But there's also a downside to that too. You can't feel the energy. It's less real, even though it may be live. But at the same time, if we had to find a positive about webinars, why we are doing 2 webinars, I'm doing 2 a month, Ryan's doing 2 a month, I'm doing 2 workshops, he's doing 2 workshops. We have 4 points of activity per month regarding getting in front of new people. And that's really and that really compounds. But the value there of the webinar is that you're branding, you're everywhere. And then if the people that sign up for your in-person, if they can't make it, try to book a one-on-one appointment or say, hey, look, join my webinar. right? So the marketing loop continues. Now on webinars, we don't get a high, I want to sit down with you. We're not booking 95% of the entire room for appointments. We're not getting any of that on webinars, but what we are getting is the consistency of constantly being out there. And it's fun too, and it helps you brand in your local area, but also throughout your state, or even if you're doing national campaigns, like we do national webinars, because you never know. Maybe there's one person on the webinar that needs help with asset protection and they have $1 million and you're able to help them with that $1 million. That would pay for all your webinars for the next decade. And so you just don't know. I mean, a lot of this business is like fishing. You never know how big the fish is going to be, or who you're going to be able to help, and who you're going to be able to meet and then get introduced to another person. Like we have people that come in all the time from the workshops. Maybe we can't help them with an annuity. We can't help them with a big policy. That's okay. We're here to help out. And is a lot of it charity? Yeah, it is. But that's our promise to the community. Like when we do these workshops, there is no sales pressure. Like if you just want to come in for questions, we will honor that. But oftentimes you can find people that need help with a final expense policy, a cancer, heart attack, stroke policy, a Medicare policy. There's all kinds of other ancillary lines that I think a lot of agents are missing out on.
Yeah, I think the trick too with that is you have to anticipate that. I mean, there was a couple months there where I did pretty much every single meeting was charity.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I did get a few callbacks from there because we did talk about the short-term home health care and the cancer, heart attack, stroke insurance, and they're starting to come back through too. So everything has a compounding effect. I mean, even if, like Roy said, you don't have this big, $1 million policy that you're going to write, that's fine. You should still treat everybody the exact same because it is our promise that we are going to teach education only. We're not going to sell anything. But if there is a solution, everybody should be treated the same, in my opinion. I don't believe in, oh, you don't have much money, then I'm just going to hurry up and rinse this one out and get you out of my office. No, I mean, we're gonna sit there and really see how we can help. I mean, everybody has to be treated the same.
Yeah, exactly. And that, when you're doing these workshops, especially on a free basis where they're not buying them dinner or anything, you're going to run into that. But I mean, I have had people, I met with a lady, I was able to help her with a small little like cancer, heart attack, stroke policy, nothing much. She gave me a referral to her friend, and her friend and I, now we're working on a $500,000 rollover. It's amazing. And I wouldn't have been able to have that if I didn't actually keep my word and focus on the education of Social Security or Roth conversion or whatever it may be. But a lot of agents go into this thinking they're just going to sell product, and that's not the right way to do it. You want to go up there, have a conversation, share your story of why you do this, and then when they sit down with you, by you educating them, showing the value, they're going to naturally ask, or if they don't, you can easily transition into like, just so you know, here are some other solutions that are available. Very easy, and it takes a lot of stress off. But most importantly, if you look at the stress in this business, it's the lack of appointments on the calendar. And this seminar practice will give you tons of appointments on the calendar. Like even, on any given day, I'm running a minimum of about 8 appointments. That's a combination of phone, Zoom, and then in person. But I wouldn't have had that unless I'm consistently doing workshops. And I keep a full calendar. I'm not stressed out. I know that I'm not going to be able to help everyone there. Not everyone's going to want to work with me. That's okay. But I know I'm going to help a good portion of them, and everything will all work out in itself. Because that's the problem if you just buy a bulk of like cheap final expense leads. Like you may have a full calendar for 3 or 4 days, and then you got to hit the phones and make a couple hundred phone calls, and you might only get 1 or 2 appointments out of that. This is a whole different world where people will actually come to you. I think that's one of the biggest values that I see out of the seminar program.
For sure. Yeah, it's better compounding than the S&P 500. I mean, everything that you just said is just the referrals that come from doing a good job and treating everybody with respect and everything like that, no matter how much money they have. That's another problem I see too. People are just online. Oh, if they don't have any money, just get them out of there. It's like, no, we're going to help everybody. We don't care. We're going to make sure all of the questions are answers. We're going to provide all of the education that we can on Social Security, which is why you came to see us in the first place. And we're going to do our jobs and do it right and with respect.
Because a lot of people, like to your point, Ryan, like a lot of widows we've helped out with widow benefits. A lot of people that they need extra money, they didn't even know about the spousal benefit, they never filed for, they didn't even know how to take advantage of it. Like just little things that are out there that we get to help with, and it just is self-fulfilling and rewarding. And if you look at the ROI, a lot of agents get so like, well, I'm not going to waste my time. Well, let me give you the breakdown here. We just ran our numbers. Our workshops are 12.5x, right? So for every dollar we put in, we get 12 and a half back from the actual gross revenue of that workshop, which is amazing rate of return. And then on the actual online leads that we have, it's about 6.4. But that's given because it's more of a volume. They didn't get to see us in person. But think about that leverage and that rate of return. If you're able to invest in yourself 100 grand into workshops over the course of time, if you get to our point, that's about $1.2 million worth of revenue, top line. That's amazing. Maybe you're just starting off and you can only do like $10,000. Okay, well, if you had an opportunity to take 10,000 and make it 120,000, would you do it? The answer is yes. And that's some of the leverage that you can get from the seminar practice, but don't expect to get it right away. It takes time. There's no get rich quick. As long as you're a good person, you're doing the right thing, and you're educating people, then you have this opportunity of business that will naturally flow to you. And by doing it consistently enough, you never have to worry about your calendar again.
Yeah, and that I think that's the hard part for me too. And I'm working with the agents and everything, and some of them are go-getters, man. They come out to our workshop training and they immediately get going. They get their workshops booked, and then other ones, they see the value, they see our success, they see how easy the workshop is, and they're just nobody's booking a workshop. I can't figure it out. I mean, you can lead a horse to water, right? But at the same time, I think also, like I said at the beginning, like having that camaraderie and mentorship and things like that to where you actually can touch the success. It's right in front of you. I can't wrap my head around why some folks are like not jumping on this train. Right? It's boggling my mind, but to each their own, and I do hope they jump on it quickly. But at the same time, I'm just a living success story and that's why I'm in the position I'm in here is look at my numbers. This is what I did just with workshop, right?
Yeah.
Not even counting all the referral business and things like that I get just from workshops. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it blows my mind. I mean, a lot of agents, if you're listening to this, you really have to evaluate yourself. And a lot of people think, okay, it's the new year, going to do it. It's just another day, okay?
Right.
Your new year starts every single day. Make a decision to actually do something. This is like the laziest industry in the world. I swear, being an insurance agent, because it's like they make one sale, then like, oh, I'm going to take a week off or two. No, you never stop your marketing. We were doing workshops up to the second week of December. You never want to stop it. And then if you haven't even started it yet, you better start now because it takes about 4 months to make your first cash flow from a workshop. It just takes time. You got to do the workshop, schedule it out, book with appointments. And you have to ask, are you really going to do something? Like we have so many great agents that are our friends, but they just don't do anything. I'm like, how do you pay your bills, man? Like, why are you even in this industry? And so that's why, there's big conferences out there. You got like 8%, and the reason why Cody came up with that is because like there's only 8% of agents that are successful in this space, right? If you look at like how to be the top 1% of agents, it's not a very high bar to cross, right? It's very easy to become in the top 1%. And you don't have to be the smartest person. You don't have to have the biggest network. I mean, I started with no network whatsoever, and I literally just door knocked my way through it. And I just built it up over the course of time. But imagine if you took an opportunity and you looked at 2026, you have to ask yourself right now, if you don't change anything at all and you stay exactly the same, where are you going to be in 2027, 8, 9, and 30, for instance, right? If you're going to be at the same spot or maybe a little bit more and you're comfortable with that, cool. Then don't do workshops because it's not for the faint of heart. But if you want to say, I want to be able to double my income, triple my income, I want to be able to help out, 3 times the amount of people, 10 times the amount of people, whatever your number is that I help out on average, this is your opportunity to do it. But the biggest thing is you just have to do it. I mean, I feel like a Nike commercial. People are just so freaking lazy and they don't want to do it. And there's so many people that actually need help and need guidance. I mean, this is a dying industry. If you look at the average age of an advisor/producer, they're like their mid-60s. Right? So this is an opportunity of a lifetime with the biggest generation coming into retirement, the boomers, that need help. And there's not too many people out there that service them. And you could be that person. You just actually have to make a decision to do it.
You just got to do it. Nike.
Yeah. I mean, what's your goal this year? What's your goal this year, Ryan, on the annuity premium?
My realistic goal or my fantasy goal?
Let's do both.
My realistic goal, $1 million a month.
Yeah.
12 million. That's success over last year. My fantasy goal is to double my production. So 17 million.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And you can do that. I mean, that's what the way that I always based everything. I based it on like either policy count or actual premium count, but that's how I started too. I was like, I remember the first year I wrote like not even $1 million, and then I wrote 3 million, then four, and then it went from four to like 10, and then from 10 to 15, 20, 30, 40, and so forth. But it took time to get there. But it's really funny how this industry works. Like the biggest barrier seems to be like that first 5 million in a rolling 12 months. That's like your first, it's almost like your first 100K that you ever make, right? Once you break that, it's like, all right, cool. Now what's the next level, right? And if
Yeah.
you're consistent with it, you're not going to go backwards, right? You're going to either maintain if you just do the same consistency level, or you're going to start really scaling up and growing it and compounding it out. And you can easily write $20 million per year as an individual solo agent. That's what I was doing, right? And then Garrett came on, became a partner, started helping me out, and then Ryan, all these other folks that we work with now. But on your own, if you're worried about staffing and overhead and all that, you don't need an office. I have a friend, he wrote $42 million. He doesn't have an office. He just drives around and meets with people. You can do that too. Getting an office does help, but in the beginning, I would invest more money into leads and workshops than I would to have overhead of an office. And you can easily write and manage your own business all the way up to about 20 million. After that, it gets a little bit hard. Unless you're only writing two $10 million cases a year, it gets a little bit hard. But think about it, at 20 million, you're probably making right around, a million to $1.4 million a year, depending on the comp structure. You're already in the seven-figure mark. You can afford to pay somebody 50, 60, $70,000 a year to help out and still invest in yourself and still invest in marketing and still take care of your family. And so that's what you really need to think about as a roadmap. Like if you've never sold an annuity before and you want to get into this space, have a goal for your first year of like 3 million bucks, right? Don't set the goal of like, oh, I'm going to sell 10 or 15. You're going to just be massively disappointed. If you could sell $3 million in your first year of actually focusing on annuities, that is amazing. Even if you sold 1 million, right? That's amazing. And it's not that many people. If you think about it, it's about 250,000 on the average for an annuity sale, okay? So 4 people, you got 1 million, right? 8 people, you got 2 million. And then you do that again, you just compound it all the way up to how many people. Let's say your goal is just $1 million the first year, that's 4 people. How do you get 4 people at least interested or that want to buy? Well, you got to figure out how many people you got to see. If you sat down with 50 people, or let's say 40 people, right? 10% of them are going to want to do something, right? Those are some of the math. Well, how do you get in front of 40 people? Well, if you did 4 workshops, you'd have your 40 appointments almost on a guaranteed basis. So you had to do 4 workshops. How much does that cost? Let's say you spend 3,000 a workshop. That's 12 grand. 12 grand to write $1 million. Okay, 12 grand to get paid out 70,000. I mean, do the math. It's there. It's simple. And a lot of the laziness comes into the fact that you don't want to do your own product research. You don't want to be shopping around different companies. You need to do that to be in the best interest of the client and to help them out. But you get paid for your time. There's no other space that allows you to get compensated the way that we do. If you take your average annual income in the insurance space and you divide it to an hourly rate, right? You'll be amazed on how much you can make per hour, more than doctors and lawyers and all these other people, all right? And you don't even need a college degree for this. And if you're worried about public speaking, you're not a good speaker, that's okay too. You know how you get better at it? You actually do it. Like when I first did a Zoom call, it was incredibly awkward. It was just weird to me. And I've always been extroverted to some extent, but I never spoke in front of people until I did that workshop. And I was terrified. I was super nervous. And oh man, I cleared my throat, hims and ahs and ums and all that fun stuff. But I got over it. So you just have to make a decision in your career. Are you going to be in the same spot? Or are you going to actually grow and do something? And Ryan's a living example, just like how he joked around. If I could do it, anyone can do it. Same thing. You take a guy that was in construction his whole life and saying, hey, guess what? You want an insurance license? Like, what are you talking about? And now he's going to become one of the best annuity producers in the country. And it's just going to take some time. But he did that within a 3-year time frame. I mean, imagine that. Yeah, it's 3 years. It's not right away. But if you worked hard today and within 3 years you had an opportunity to start making, $750,000 a year in income or even $1 million, would you do it? But you actually have to do it.
That is very true. Yeah. Can I say 3 years ago that I would be where I'm at today? No. Was it scary? Hell yes, it was scary. But you just gotta do it. If
Yeah.
if that's what you want. I mean, I'll just tell everybody my favorite part about this business. I'm able to take my kid to school.
Yeah.
I never had that freedom in construction ever, not once. Not once, unless it was like rained out. Not once ever. I get to
Right.
take her to school now. I get to maybe pick her up most of the time. It's awesome. I have that freedom because I put in the work, I put my back against the wall, and now I'm reaping some success from it. And it is the best move I ever did. So thank you, Roy.
Well, you
Thanks for
did the
showing
hard
me the
work.
ropes.
You
Yeah.
know, and then you're going on your trip too. I mean, you're going to Yellowstone, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Taking a week at Yellowstone and then able to go to my niece's graduation in the summer in North Carolina. It's gonna be, that's the kind of freedom I never had.
Yeah.
Never.
And a 9 to 5, you don't have that. Like I went to, I rarely take time off just because I'm a workaholic, but I went to Colorado for a week. Cool. Didn't care about Airbnb costs. Didn't care about airline ticket costs. A lot of people say, oh, my car gets bad gas mileage. I got to watch my gas. I don't even think about it. And that's the freedom that you want to have. Just be able to like, hey, you want to go on a
Yep.
family trip? Cool. And especially if you have kids, because your kids are going to look up to you and they're going to be like, hey, mom and dad are heroes and rock stars, or like, hey, they're just average, right? And then when you're dead, how are your kids going to perceive you? Like, oh my God, dad was a badass, or nah, yeah, he was cool. You know what I mean? So there's more of a reason to do this besides yourself. Not only is it to try to help other people out there, like the community that needs good information about financial products and planning and services, but also for your kids. And if you don't have kids, it's for your spouse. And if you don't have kids or a spouse, I don't know, go dating or something. But it's one of those things where you do this business more than just for yourself, right? Even if you're completely single, everything else, do it for the community and try to help people, make an impact on their lives. Like it's so cool to think that we put into force literally probably over $100 million per year in life insurance coverage. And that's not even a main line of coverage that we do. I mean, we mainly focus on annuities and asset-based LTC. But think about that. We injected that much money into the economy in the event that something happens to somebody, tax-free payment. And you're in this business long enough, you process a death claim, it becomes real. It's like, wow, I sat down with this person. I helped them protect their retirement assets from the downfall. I helped them with a long-term care event that now they need the money. I help protect them for their income when one of the spouses passes away, and now there's a life insurance check for $500,000, all because I made that phone call, I made that attempt, and you get paid to do it. It's like you're getting paid to do charity work to help people. It's like agents and other advisors, like I hope you understand that. And if you're a consumer watching this, there's a lot of good agents out there. Most of the agents and advisors in this space, they're great people and they're just trying to help you. All right. And if you're an agent listening to this, like you really have to question, why are you doing this? If you're just doing it for the commission, you will get burnt out. This industry will eat you alive between underwriters, cancellations, people changing their mind, your confidence will be destroyed. But if you have a bigger reason of a why to do this, like I'm on a mission to help people. I'm on a mission to help 100 families this year protect their assets, right? I'm on a mission to become an absolute rock star, like the first one in my family. Like I'm the first one in my family to break over $1 million. That's pretty cool. I don't even have a college degree, and then my kids, as they get older, they're going to hopefully become more involved in the business. But even if something happens to me, or hopefully not for a very long time, my kids are going to look back like, wow, dude, dad provided all this. Just like how Ryan's daughter is going to be like, my dad is a badass where you get to go on all these cool trips, all these life experiences. He gets to spend that time with her because he'll never get back that time. And that's like me. I'll never get back time with the kids. I want to spend as much as possible with them while I'm still cool to their eyes, but I'm always going to be cool to them. But this business allows for that to actually happen. And that's what it can do for you is also.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true, man. I mean, my daughter's 11. I only got a few years left until she don't want nothing to do with us. So we're gonna have
Right.
some fun right now.
Awesome. Well, you guys, we always try to keep these podcasts and video recordings relatively short because we're agents also, and we understand the attention span is nil. And so we're going to go ahead and stop this video now. We're going to put the description, the links in the below. I mean, you can just look us up. Be sure to check out our annual conference, regardless of what time you're watching this or what year you're watching this. We do an annual conference every single year at Annuity Producers. It's a non-biased, non-recruiting event. Annuity Producers in itself is not an insurance agency. What it is an educational and event company. We did that intentionally. So we have all walks of life, all different people coming, And it's the only true hardcore training that's available today without you having to pay some fee or join our team or anything like that. We do free Thursday Zoom calls every Thursday at 11 a.m. Central. You can find more of that on Annuity Producers. Join hundreds of agents every single week where I just literally walk through case designs. I share cases that I won, share cases that I lost, why I lost, what I learned from that. I mean, it's we're out here in the trenches too. Everyone's trying to recruit you if you're an agent, and if you're a consumer, everyone's trying to sell you something. But you need non-biased advice, non-biased information. And that's what we strive to provide. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.